The Dutch finance minister has predicted that the lights will go out in the Netherlands if voters deliver a no verdict today. But such apocalyptic predictions seem to have made little dent in negative sentiment towards the EU constitution. Now, Raymond Franken, he's joined by yes campaigner Lousewies van der Laan in The Hague. Ray.
Yes, Gerrit Salm, the Dutch finance minister, already bought his candles, he said, because he fears the lights will go out. But with me here is Lousewies van der Laan. She's of the Liberal Party D66. She is still holding out hopes because there is one poll that shows an 8 percentage point margin between the yes and the no camp. Lousewies, do you really think a yes vote still is possible?
Well, I spent a lot of time at stations this morning handing out leaflets and trying to ask people whether they'd already voted. And I still had so many people who hadn't voted, didn't really know what to do, didn't know whether to follow their minds or their hearts. So I think that we should still go for an all-out effort. And I think if people have the chance between voting to complain about the past or to improve the future, hopefully a lot, will still choose for the future.
You're a member of the parliament here in the Netherlands. You're also a former member of the European Parliament. The constitution, as it is over here, says an awful lot about cooperation between the national parliaments. We could be talking about that. But the constitution also says that if one country or more has a problem with ratification, which is already the case in France, then the government leaders will have to discuss that issue. That's literally what it says over here in clause 30. What do you think should be done to sort out the situation? Because whether we have a yes or no vote in the Netherlands, we're already in that situation where the heads of state are going to have to sort this out. What do you think they should do?
Well, you see that the political leaders are still focusing on how to pass this constitution. The biggest problem we have in Europe is that people don't feel involved in European politics. This is for the first time that we're having a debate on Europe in the Netherlands. And great as that is, I'm afraid that political leaders are just going to forge ahead, use this Declaration 30 to try somehow to push this constitution through. And we should say no. When the French said no, the treaty was dead, and we still have to solve all the problems that are on the table, like how to have a European voice in the world, how to solve cross-border problems like crime and terrorism, but we shouldn't do it without involving our citizens, and that should be our #1 challenge, and not to find a backdoor to push this constitution through.
So what real alternative is there to this constitution?
I think the only alternative now is to try to chop it into pieces, to take the parts that everyone agrees on and go ahead and put those to the citizens again, and the bits that are controversial, well, we're simply going to have to leave them out. But the key thing is that whatever step we take, no matter how small it is, we should do it with our citizens rather than ramming it down their throats, because then if you don't get a no today, you're going to get it somewhere down the line, and politicians need to learn that you can only do things with your citizens, not above their heads.
So you're basically saying more referenda in the future, also on European issues. If we look at the Irish experience with